Hi, I'm Danny,
Hi, I'm Mel.
and we're the Sheehan Sisters.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. I know it may have been a while since you've seen our faces.
And if you're completely new here, hi, welcome. We'll explain exactly who we are. So just grab a seat, grab a snack, grab a coffee, and come chat with us.
So, everyone's been wondering, where have we been?
We heard the rumors, we heard the speculations. The witches are back. Okay, as you all.
And the ghosts are back too.
This is being a YouTuber on a budget, you know?
But you gotta just start. That's something I saw recently too, and that's what we always say to each other too. Where it's like, you gotta just go with what you have. You gotta do the best you can with what you have. Because one day we're gonna be sitting in a fucking studio with like a crew, and then it's like, look how far we've come.
Hold on, just to comment on that. I feel like that's because we are going to talk about our relationship to social media, but I feel like that's been a common problem with becoming a YouTuber or a content creator, is like you have to have like the highest quality, you have to have like the nicest environment, like the best phone or the best camera to record. Like that's the standard that these influencers are projecting now, and I feel like that's why a lot of people feel intimidated to start their channel.
Absolutely. Like, and I think another aspect of that is like feeling embarrassed and then thinking like, oh, what are people gonna say because my quality is not that good? And just constantly thinking of all the backlash that you might get, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking back to like childhood right now where it was like, oh, I don't want to tell people I got these shoes at Payless. It's kind of like that mentality of like feeling embarrassed because you can't necessarily afford all the newest technology now these days, which is so much more expensive than shoes. But that was like an indicator back in the day where it was like, oh, you don't have Nikes on, or you don't have Converse, like you have the off-brand shoe.
I was actually thinking about that the other day because I'm not really into shoes or sneakers, and like we always have to mention it, but we grew up in New York City, and I laugh because we mention this in every video, but
I mention that every day. Like, so I no longer live in New York City, but people know. Like, and you'll know if you've met someone who's from New York because they will tell you.
yes, we grew up in New York City, and like being a sneakerhead is a thing, you know? Like I was thinking back to middle school, how what was it, the Nike Air Forces that were popular?
Yeah, they still are.
They still are. Yeah, they're super cute. But I don't own a pair now. Like I really don't even own. I don't know, the brands of sneakers I own are not really like trendy brands. Like I'm at the age now where it's like, oh, this is comfortable. But I did fall victim to the peer pressure of the sneakers and having like the latest or trendiest sneaker. When looking back, I'm not even into that. It's like it's stupid to me now.
Yeah, like I have some name brand sneakers, but I don't really keep them clean. I'm like, these are just to protect my feet. She's like, speaking of shoes.
Nala always comes with some. Please don't hit my tripod. Come over here.
Some things just never change. What was I gonna say? Shoes. Yeah, like I don't really care to keep them clean or not. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, like some people are very like they need to keep it brand new looking, and I don't really care about that. But I was gonna say I got a pair of Dr. Scholl's sneakers, and this indicating my age, but they are so they are so comfortable.
I'm saying. That is another thing though with the dudes that you can't fucking scuff up their sneakers. Like, bro, you live in New York City. Like, you're gonna be taking the fucking train. Like, that shit's gonna get dirty one way or the other. Or they just have them sitting in their closet and they just have a fucking collection. It's like, just wear the fucking sneakers.
It is technically a good investment, but that's only if you actually plan to like
Resell.
or do something with them. I don't know. Anyway,
We're done with the sneaker topic.
the sneaker analogy was to talk about, is that happening today? If you're in the younger generation, do people still care about sneakers, or is it now all about technology? Is it all about your phone? Because that would stress me out. Like, again, like thinking back to when we were younger, like worrying about shoes, who at that point in time, they were maybe like $60 or $80, which was a lot for a shoe at the time. And now it's like, you gotta have phones, which is like way more expensive.
From what I've observed, I've seen every single kid with a phone.
That's what I'm saying. That's the new thing that they want these days. Like, do they not really care as much about the other, like, clothes and like just other things like that, or do they need to have everything? Like, that seems like so much pressure to have on you. And speaking of phones, so Danny and I we've been on a pause for several reasons. One of them being we wanted to like upgrade, which is the point of this conversation, upgrade our technology and get microphones. And if you guys don't know, we use our cameras to film. So
Our phones to film.
what did I say? Our cameras? No. If you don't know, we use our phones to film. And when I ordered my microphone, I had forgotten that my charging port is broken. And I've been using one of those wireless chargers to charge my phone, where you just place the phone down on it and you need to insert a piece into your charging port for the microphone, and obviously that doesn't work. So I feel so bad because I literally forgot about that. And I'm laughing because Danny and I have always had issues with technology. Maybe we've mentioned this before in another video, but we have been trying to make YouTube videos for years now, and we just have countless issues with tripods breaking, cameras breaking, microphones breaking, just like everything that could go wrong does go wrong. That is one of the reasons we took a small break, which ironic that we took a break. We paused to upgrade and nothing got upgraded, on my end anyway. So sorry for the audio issues that are still happening.
Yes. I mean, we did want to let you all know that we what do we want to let you know? We're back. We're trying to be back. We're trying to be back. Is that a thing?
We're trying. That was one of our goals when we originally came back. We're just always back. If you guys didn't know, we're gonna say that a lot. We're always back because we also got jobs.
We did. If you didn't know, our previous videos were during our unemployment or our fun employment. How do you say that? Fun employment.
I've never heard that.
We both got laid off from our jobs or on the same time because of the economy. Yay!
Love it.
And we were like, let's revive our channel. And you're probably wondering, what are you talking about reviving your channel? We had older videos that we made private because they just didn't reflect who we are now, I would say. Do you agree, Mel?
I agree. And also, if anybody sticks around, which we hope that you do stick around, you'll see the pattern that Danny and I go through of wanting to delete everything and start over again. And that's why we're constantly like, we're back and this is what we're doing now. And it's confusing probably. It's probably confusing for a lot of other people, but for us it makes sense. So if you're like that, like I'm the same way with like my Instagram, where I'm like, I'm archiving everything and now I have 2 posts. Like I do that a lot. I don't know if any of that made any sense, but I feel like some people get it. It'll resonate with someone.
Listen, the girls who get it, get it. For me, anyway, I deactivated my personal Instagram and I have never been happier about it. We have a love-hate relationship with social media, and that's something we wanted to chat about today as well. But we also wanted to come back with a different format because we are a commentary channel and we would pick like either a subject or a video to react to. And then a lot of our filming days would end up becoming a lot more frustrating than they needed to be because we didn't write out a script. If you don't know, most YouTubers, especially commentary channels, write out a script. So we were just like, no, we're just gonna like say our opinions and free flow it, and then it would become aggravating because our mind would just go blank the minute the camera is on. And we're like, what the hell is happening here? So we were like, you know what, let's come back with more of like a podcast style. And Mel and I, when we do talk to one another on the phone, we'll have like 3-hour conversations. And we're like, we just need to bring this energy onto the camera, into our channel.
Right. We get kind of a stage fright, which is funny because we're just in a room by ourselves. So it's like, what are we actually scared of? But yeah, like we'll turn the camera on and then like crickets.
No thoughts. No thoughts. No opinion ever.
No thought has ever crossed our minds at any point in time when we try to film. And then like you said, the technology issues will happen out of nowhere, and again, we're just persisting through, and we're back. That's all we had to say. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, if you're like us, where you either have a social media page, like just for like normal purposes, not as a content creator, but you also hate social media, but also if you are a content creator and hate social media, like these are our people, you know, come sit with us and we can experience that together. Because I'm constantly like, oh, I have all these ideas and I'm gonna film this and I'm gonna make it into this, and then I start spiraling where I'm like, no, I actually hate the internet and I don't want to be bullied online and I really don't want to expose myself to millions of people. But then I'm like, I do, and then and then the cycle starts all over again. I'm like, no, I should put myself out there.
Right, and that's what we were saying earlier, how like people get afraid of the judgment that is but judgment's gonna come regardless. Like you can have everything perfect, whatever that may mean to you, and there's still gonna be people who are like, I hate this. And there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot please everyone, so just don't even try.
Don't even try, just be you, and you really have to have a thick skin if you do want to be a content creator, because people are so unapologetically mean these days. Like the trajectory of like technology and social media, I don't know what it did to our brains, but people, they're not scared to tell you how they feel, or they're not even scared to make you feel bad about yourself. Like they don't, like they're heartless. Some of these people are heartless, or they don't even have the attachment that they're like, oh, this is a real person behind this screen with feelings.
Right. Yeah, and it just makes me sad when I go into like the comment section of videos and it's just negativity. It's just people just miserable people just pointing out what they don't like and just and you can have an opinion, but I think people have taken that too far, if that makes sense, where they're like, well, this is my opinion and I have the right to state it. And it's like, absolutely. But like you said, they're just being mean. Like, there's a fine line between like, this is constructive criticism of like, or even not criticism, just like I said, your opinion, where you're like, I don't like this. And then there's just like people who are like, well, let me tell you exactly why I fucking hate this.
Right, and these are the same people that if you come after their faves, they'll like defend their honor to the fucking grave. Like, you can't say anything about their favorite artist, but y'all be hopping in other people's comment section saying whatever the hell you want to say. But the minute that, like, that's another thing, it's like, we're not respecting each other's opinions, but like Mel said, I feel like it's about how you articulate your opinion, because as we all know, the critical thinking skills these days, they're non-existent, but
they're non-existent. The amount of times I also go into a comment section and people are like, can someone tell me what this video is about? Can you watch it? Or they'll ask a question and then people are like, well, if you watched the video and you listened, your answer, it would have been answered. Like, the attention span has disappeared also. Like, we already know it's been getting shorter. I feel like it's now also non-existent. So no attention span, no critical thinking, no absorption, no kind of...
That's what I was going to say. They're not even finishing the video. They're running with an opinion before the video is even over. They're like, let me comment before I even watch the full video. I think that's wild.
Right, they're jumping to a conclusion that it's like, if I read 2 pages of a book and I was like, well, why did the author end it this way? And I make up a whole ending in my head.
Well, that's, you know what pisses me off now? It's the too long didn't read. Excuse me? And listen, I know there are some comments where like this person outlines their whole life and it's like 3 paragraphs and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. But when you're having like a back and forth with someone in the comment section, you can't even be bothered. You want to say your opinion, but you can't be bothered to read someone's response to you. Like, hello, this is why people are so self-centered. They don't even want a dialogue.
Right.
It's like, my opinion is, the truth is Bible, as the fucking Kardashians say. Do you know about this? The Bible shit?
Yeah. It's funny how I never watched a single episode of the Kardashians, yet I know so much about them because of, like, they kind of just encompass everything. You're just like online, like, I've seen a million clips of the show that I could tell you more about them than I should even know about them.
Exactly. That's the thing about the Kardashians. You'll know about them whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And somehow they're still relevant. Somehow. Did you see that Kylie like revived her King Kylie era?
Yeah. And I have mixed feelings about that. I don't really care, but like, I guess I care enough that we're, you know, conversating about it. Cause I'm just like, now's not the time.
Now's not the time. We're no kings. Hello.
Whenever. Oh my God, love that. Yes.
No kings.
Let me show. I have a sticker on my laptop that I'm gonna show. Hopefully it's showing. What's that? I'll have to show you later. I got one from the protest.
We're in our no kings era. But I was also thinking about how she did her little pop-up, and I'm like, she's not even doing this for like financial reasons. Like, she has enough money. It's just like, she's just inviting her little celebrities and influencers to her little pop-up. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if it's successful or not. Like, it's just a way for her to have like a little party with her like inner circle,
which she can do at any point in time and not have to flaunt it. But that's a good point you made, where it's like, she already has enough money. And that goes for most celebrities who are selling us anything, where it's like, you're good. Actually, you're good. You don't need my money anymore. And I feel like we're getting to that turning point of not supporting celebrities and not really giving them our time and our money anymore. And not to like shame anyone, if you want to watch a TV show or a movie or listen to music, like if you enjoy those things, that's great, that's fine, like have your hobbies. Because I think that's a reason like these fandoms take it so personal, because they're like, well, this means so much to me. And it's like, it's fine that those things have meaning for you, but I don't feel like you should idolize the person behind it as much as people do. And that can go for so many celebrities, because it's like, at the end of the day, while you're struggling, or maybe you're not struggling, maybe you're doing just fine and you're also out of touch with the reality, who knows. But for people who are struggling, we look at these celebrities and we're just like, I don't know, I don't expect them to help us, but some part of me is like, damn, where is your humanity?
Right. Like, name a celebrity that does anything for their fans for free.
We'll wait.
Who?
I said, we'll wait.
We'll wait. I thought you had a name. I'm like, you know what? They have so much money to the point where they could do giveaways or whatever the case is, something for their fans where they're not exploiting their fans. But guess what? They're still choosing to exploit y'all. And and just to bring it all together, this is why I hate social media now, because everything became exploitative. And we were talking about this offline, off camera, about how Instagram, because I'm not on TikTok. I never jumped on the TikTok wave. I've only downloaded the app if someone sends me a video from TikTok. Like, yeah, I'll respond, but I'm not diving into TikTok. It's overstimulating for me. I already see stories of it on YouTube, and I think that's where that's my extent of like consuming like TikTok drama.
Right, like, and a lot of it will get re-uploaded to Instagram or YouTube, so it's like, it's all kind of circulating around.
And YouTube is the only social media app I've been using. I still will use our poetry page we have on Instagram. If y'all didn't know, we're poets, we're artists. So I think that's another reason why we get so discouraged from social media, because it's not fun anymore. I think I told you I saw a video recently where this person was explaining how social media isn't fun anymore, and I completely understand that. It's like you have to find ways to, like, you know, it's just about building followers and building likes, and it doesn't feel authentic. Like, it feels like, oh my God, like I'm a flop or I'm a failure because I put out my art and no one gives a shit about it.
Right, it's not fun anymore. And I feel like millennials say that a lot, because we were at the start of social media where we kind of got to be a little silly and fun. And that's another thing. I feel like everyone's taking themselves so seriously now, and like everything's capitalized and everything's a business, and everybody is putting themselves out there as a business as well. And you know, we're not going to act like we're totally disconnected from that, because we'd be lying if we said there wasn't a part of us that wanted that in some capacity. Like, obviously we're all trying to survive, so money is great. You know, like, as much as you want to pretend like you don't care about it, we unfortunately need it. So I do respect the hustle to some extent, but then, yeah, like you said, then you're just online and it's just like everyone's just trying to sell you something.
Right. And I think when we were trying to build our poetry/art page, we had this pressure of like, okay, how do we build our page? Like, we got to post 3 times a day. We got to, like, there's all these, like, now I see these posts of like, like all these steps you need to do to build your following and to build your page, and I'm just like, this is crazy now. Like, I shouldn't have to do all that just to get people to experience my art. And then, you know, people do say like, well, if you love making art, you'll do it with regardless. And like, yeah, I absolutely do still make art. And we stopped posting on our poetry page for a multitude of reasons, but mainly because we started hating Instagram and the way that the algorithm is set up and the way that you have to do all these steps, and we were advertising posts, and then our Instagram ultimately got messed up from that. Like when we started purchasing to advertise our poems, then Instagram wouldn't boost the posts that we didn't advertise, if that makes sense.
Right, then they just wanted more money out of us.
More money. It's all about the monies.
Just want money.
Right. And that's why we're saying too, like we take a pause from posting our poetry, we take a pause from posting on YouTube. And because they're like, well, if you really want it, then you're gonna do it. Like you're gonna work so hard and whatever. Like, and it's like, well, on top of all our regular jobs, because when we were like we mentioned before, we were unemployed, so we had a lot of time to film and edit and do all of that, and that's why we were putting up a lot of videos. Like the beginning, late last year to the beginning of this year, we were posting a lot, and then we got back to work, and then it's like, well, no, I'm and I get it, like the grind, but it's like I think I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to do that actually. I don't want to do that. And Danny and I always say too, like poetry, art, even the YouTube, it's a hobby for us. So it's like, yeah, it'd be great if this became something, but it's also something we do enjoy doing. But I don't know how to articulate this, but like, because people are like, oh, do something you love and you never work a day in your life. Like, bullshit.
I hate that expression.
I hate it. Because I do a lot of the things that I love, like for a living.
To live, I do this.
I cook. I work in a restaurant, and as much as I love cooking, yeah, if you took most people who loved cooking and put them in a restaurant, they would hate it by the end of the day or week. I guarantee you. Because it always gets to a point where it's work. So even if you're doing something you love, like you may love to paint and you make a video of you painting, but do you love to edit? Do you love to market yourself? Do you love to network? Like you have to love all these other aspects that come along with it, if that makes any sense. So it's like, do what you love. Yes, always. Don't give up on the things that you love. But just know that there's more to it than that, especially when it starts to actually become a business. Then there's so much more added onto that, and that's something I feel like a lot of people don't talk about on social media, where everyone's like like I said, everyone's selling you something. They're knitting and they're selling you what they knitted, or they're painting things, they're selling you what they painted, they're making candles, they're making music, they're making this. And I feel like a lot of people aren't really showing you behind the scenes too much, where it's like, okay, well now you have to get a business, now you have to
certificate, right?
Now you have to get a bank account for your business, now you have to file taxes for your like all of that stuff that comes with it that people don't want to talk about, because it's like, oh, we can't talk about money, we can't talk about that. And that part always frustrated me, because I'm like, that's the more serious side of it, and that's the stuff that actually is going to take up your time and your effort, because it's like, yeah, you're doing what you love and that's the easy part, but then there's all this other shit you have to now worry about.
And I think that I do think about that aspect, and that overwhelms me, because another problem, especially in America, is financial literacy. And we should be taught about this, I would say, like middle school, like maybe even high school, because 16 you're legally allowed to work in the US. But then we're not taught like what's the right things to do with your paycheck, and like how do you expand your money, like what can you invest in, and like what will be fruitful for your future. I still don't know. Like I get so overwhelmed and anxious about things like that, especially because, you know, we're at the point where things are digital now and your fucking money could like disappear. Like the numbers in your account could just like disappear one day. Like it's not, I don't know, it's not real sometimes. Like, does that make sense?
Right, I definitely feel like I'm in a video game sometimes. I'm like, I gotta collect the coins on the floor. Like I gotta collect everything. Yeah, and the economy's not doing well. The government is shut down.
I don't know when it will change.
Will it ever change?
I don't think the economy's been good since like
I was born.
we were born.
I don't think I've ever lived in a point in time.
It's so wild to me because so many people don't care about cash anymore, nor do they carry it. And when I'm at work, when people do want to use cash, they'll be like, oh, do you take cash? And I'm like, absolutely. Even though I know some people will be like, oh, card only, because they don't want to fucking count. Sorry for cursing, but people don't want to count their registers. That's a different conversation. But we have to keep cash alive. We have to be able, like, the reason that everything's turning digitalized, because they want to track everything about you. You should be concerned that you know that they're trying to get rid of the dollar. And that we weren't even planning to bring this up, but I don't know. I think we should start caring about cash a little bit more. Listen, if you have cash, you get cash tips, okay? Wink, wink. That's where the government, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that control over your cash. They don't have eyes on your cash.
Well, we also need to get rid of tipping culture and tipping. Like, we need to just pay people a fair amount. That's another topic too. It's like people, like, there's still so many workers that rely on tips, and like you said, people aren't really carrying cash anymore, so people aren't really getting cash tips, and then they're getting tips on the credit card, and then that's getting taxed, and then or people just aren't even tipping anymore because no one has money, and then that's a whole other conversation I don't know if we're gonna get into, where it's like you just want to go out to eat and now you have to, there's all, like, even if you order food, it's like all these added expenses now are put onto your bill. And then on top of that, you have to worry if you're helping this person, basically paying the employee for the business with your tip. Life is stressful. That's the moral of this video.
Life is stressful. Yeah, right. It's because like tipping has become so stressful, and then people, again, because people are just a lot more mean these days. They will call you out on it. Like, I went to the MoMA. This is an art museum. There was in New York City. There was an event me and my friend went to, and I was like, oh, I asked my friend, like, oh, I'll get you a drink. You want to get a drink with me? We went, right, the bar was set up, and the guy like literally just like pours my wine and like pours her drink, and then he's watching me put the tip amount in, and I was like, girl, I'm sorry, but I'm not giving you 20% for just, you know, pouring the bottle of wine for me when the drinks are already overpriced. Like, I still tipped him, but he was like watching to see what amount I picked, and I just I did custom, and I think I tipped like a reasonable tip. It's like the way that he was staring at me, and like that's another thing, is that the social pressure to, you know, make yourself look like you're not cheap. I don't give a shit about that anymore. I used to do that at the cafes, like my local cafe. I would always tip every single time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just getting my coffee today. Like, I can't tip you every single time.
Right, and that's the thing too, and like it's kind of become a joke too on social media where like the person flips the iPad for like the tip and people are like, no, because yeah, like you said, you go to the coffee shop every day and you're like, every day I'm giving you, you know, like obviously like a good tip would be like $5, but it's like I can't tip you $5 every day. And there's some people like, well, don't then make it yourself. I don't know, but it's like a weird. It's just weird that now the pressure is put onto me to make sure that you're okay. Where like it's, you know, and I feel that way too. Where I would go and I'd be like, yeah, I'm always gonna leave a tip, and yeah, in our head we're like, well, you're doing your job, like you have to kind of do your job. And it's the same with like a delivery driver, Uber driver. It's like, well, this in concept, this is your job, is to get me from point A to point B or to bring my food to me. And now I look like an asshole if I decided I do tip. I just want to specify I do tip. But like I now look like an asshole if I don't, or if I don't give the right amount. And it's like, maybe we should just be paying people. Maybe we should just get mad at the employers and the system at hand.
Right.
Because it also creates tension between you and that person, because now you go into that coffee shop and they're like, there's the bitch that didn't tip me or something, you know what I'm saying? Or like
Right.
so I work in a restaurant and there's always tension between the servers and the cooks. If you know, you know.
We need the whole tea on that, Mel. We need like a whole episode on that industry.
I could do so many videos on that. But just like they're working for their tips, and a lot of the time some kitchens we get tips, like most of the kitchens I've been in, we get a percentage of the tips, which a lot of servers get mad about that too, and that's like a whole nother thing. But it does create tension because it's like they're working front facing to the people, where like they really are working for their tip, where I'm back there. So a lot of the time like they'll mess up, but I don't know how to explain it, where it's like they're getting mad because like maybe the food's taking longer than they want it to, and now the person's not going to tip because it took too long. You know what I'm like? It's just all these little factors that go into play
Right.
with tip culture, and we just need to eliminate it, is my stance on that. I know I didn't really say anything there because I'm spiraling in my head, but
No, we're picking up what you're putting down. Okay, the tension with the waiters and the back of house. We got it. We got it. You know, comment below if you experience the same things.
yeah, and if you're a worker who relies on tips, like I get it, because like I said, I do get a percentage of tips, so it is nice when it's a good amount, and you know my checks vary because of that, and I just wish that I didn't have to rely on that. So if you guys are tipped employees, like let me know your thoughts on that.
If you are that employee that relies on tips, I can understand the frustration and the anger behind it. But ultimately, like, it's your employer's responsibility to tip you fairly. And I think like paying the wait staff like less than minimum wage because of the tips is an outdated law, and we need to start changing things like that. You know, we shouldn't even be following that law anymore.
Right, because there are people like, oh, they make so much on tips, or like bartenders make so much on tips, and it's like not this day and age, because nobody has money and nobody's even going out to eat as often, because like you said, it's now a luxury, where it's like, damn. And like even ordering food on the apps to deliver, like you used to just have to call the pizzeria and be like, hey, let me get a pie, this, and then they brought it to you and that was it, and there wasn't 20 charges added on to the thing, you know what I'm saying? But also going with tips, I'm also thinking about people who like live stream, and like I've been watching more streamers lately that like re-upload their streams to YouTube, and they're always like talking to the chat and they're like, thank you for this, thank you for that, and like people are giving them money as well and like tipping them. I feel like I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. Like even like on the TikTok lives, it's like people are just my fucking hold on. This is what I get for talking shit. I was gonna say, it's just, I guess if people have the money, they're gonna give the money, but then I feel like there's people who feel obligated to, whether it's tip or whether in any, whether it's at a store or a delivery or Uber or online, like we feel this obligation, because then it's also like how people perceive us, where it's like I said, they're gonna see you as like, oh, that's the person that tips all the time, like we're gonna make their food better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna treat you better because you gave me money.
Right, and that's where we are right now in society, where it's like, oh, if you're an influencer, you get free shit, and if you're an influencer, you get treated better. If you have money, you get treated better. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then people want to talk about community. It's like, y'all, we don't know how to treat each other anymore. Like, unless you have something that is of leverage for this person, they don't give a shit. If you're not doing anything for them in any way that's beneficial for them in their life, people don't want to care about one another anymore.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, where people are judgmental. And I feel like this kind of ties in a lot of things we were talking about, where it's like, oh, you're broke and you're cheap. And it's like, why are we being so mean to each other? Like, we're struggling right now. Like, you know, this country in particular, and obviously other countries as well, but we live in America. And it's like, things aren't going well. And then obviously you look at the bigger picture of like outside of America, and it's like, well, things are going terrible, horrible, disgusting. You know, there's people starving, and we're being rude to each other and mean to each other and attacking each other when we should be attacking the system. That was the point I wanted to make, where it's like, we're getting angry at each other. It's like, oh, this person didn't tip me, or this person did that. It's like, well, be mad at your employer for not paying you a decent wage, or be mad at the law for being set up the way that it is. And I just see people constantly, we're all just constantly attacking each other when we're on the same team. And I see that even with activism, where we're shaming people. They're like, oh, you're still supporting this artist, you're still shopping at this store, you're still doing that. And it's like, they can still have the same beliefs as you, and they're just trying to catch up to like what's right and what's wrong. And like, I sent this post to Danny a few days ago where it's like, you're using a certain product, or you buy something from the store, and people are like, nope, we can't support that anymore. And instead of shaming the person, maybe we teach them like why we're boycotting this product now, or why we're not supporting this person anymore. Instead of making that person just feel bad and shaming. We're shaming the wrong people, basically. We keep shaming each other for not having the shoes, not having the phone, not having this, not tipping, not having money. It's like, we should be shaming the government for not giving us the necessities we need to survive. That's my point.
I agree. And to connect it back to social media, I think that was another reason why I wanted to get off of Instagram and not have an Instagram anymore, because I'm just like, I don't know, like the internet is delusional. I'm sorry, but it's like when you realize what is really happening around you, and then you're just like scrolling throughout your feed, and you're just like, people are like, you know, trying to present a certain lifestyle, and it's like, first of all, I know this is not real. Second of all, does this even matter? I don't know. Like, yeah, it probably matters to them to put themselves out there and like showcase whatever they're showcasing. But then I start to spiral, and I'm like, well, the world is going to shit. Like, and I'm just over here supposed to be like, oh, like, love, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's weird. It's all weird. And it's ironic because I'm sitting here on the camera and you're watching this as we're doing a YouTube video. So like, yeah, I get it. It's very meta. I'm seeing it. I'm realizing it.
Right. It's a little hypocritical. We're all a little hypocritical.
Hypocrites, right? Because they're like, oh, if you really, then you wouldn't even be doing this YouTube thing. Well, like we said, we're doing it. So it's happening.
And that's the thing I see too, where there's people, like I said, shaming other people for whatever. And it's like, you don't live in a fucking tree.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Like, you're not out here, you know what I'm saying, so disconnected from the world that you're so above it all. Like, you're still filming a video on your phone talking about whatever it is you want to talk about to tell people that they're wrong on everything that they're doing. And it's like this God complex of like, well, I'm better than you, kind of. That's where I feel like it comes from sometimes from some people, instead of like a teaching moment of like, hey, this is, because there are people out there who do it the right way. Not, I guess there's not, I'm not shaming them, but the hypocrisy of it all.
This is why we can't make videos, because we're too aware.
We're too aware, and we start to overthink everything, and we're like, we just contradicted ourselves 20 times, and we just said this, but then we said that, and then we're like, delete the whole thing.
Right. And then we're like, this was all meaningless and pointless. Like, let's not even upload. But this will be uploaded. You will be watching this.
I've been having so many like existential crises lately. Like the other day, I was like, I'm gonna just, like you said, delete everything. I'm gonna throw everything out. I'm gonna start over.
Exactly.
Like I start to like shame myself too sometimes, where it's like, especially like the older you get, and then you start to feel this weird of like, what am I doing with my life? And also like, what, I don't know, just like lost and confused and thinking you should have it figured out, but like you're never really gonna have it figured out.
You never will. You never will.
And some people take that the wrong way. And that's another conversation maybe for our next video that I want to get into, about kind of like growing pains of like in your 20s, you spend the whole time being like, I gotta figure it out. You're like, I gotta have it figured out by this age. And you get like, we're saying you'll never figure it out, and that sounds discouraging to a lot of people. And I remember being that young person, like, fuck you, I'm gonna figure it out, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna solve it, I'm gonna do it. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I'm still the same person, and the world around me is still on fire. And not to, like, in a negative way, it's just kind of like, there's really not anything to figure out if that's the case. Like, you know, like, do what makes you happy. Try your best to be happy. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, I was just thinking, because it's like, well, maybe the purpose is not to figure it out. You know, we should constantly be questioning and evolving. Like, we're never going to have all the answers, right, of like what our human existence is. And let's just say your definition of figuring it out is like, yeah, I'm gonna get the 6-figure job and I'm gonna work my way up. And then you get the job and you work your way up and you're there, and then you realize, oh, I'm not happy, or oh, I still want more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's more of the concept of like, you're never gonna figure it out, because even when you get everything you want it. I don't know if what the thought I'm trying to formulate there, but it's like, so many people have proven time and time again that you can get everything you want, and it's still not enough, or it's still not the purpose, you know? Like, I guess not figuring it out is like, we're never really going to figure out like the purpose of life. I don't know, that's how I see it. Like, we're never, yeah, we're gonna gain wisdom, and we're gonna see everything as much as we can, and we're gonna be, for me anyways, I want to live till 96, you know, I'm gonna be in my 90s, and then I'm gonna see the world transform so many different ways and still be confused. I feel like, well, obviously when you're 90, you're confused for different reasons, but
you're gonna be content but confused.
Content but confused. And it's wild, because the way that the world works is that we're stuck in cycles. Look where we are now, 2025. We've digressed. That's the right word, right?
Regressed.
We regressed so much that we're like, what? we're still here. We're still talking about this shit. You're still taking away rights. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's just like this constant cycle that we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna see progress, and we're gonna have like, you know, I don't know, I'm tripping over my words now because it's getting overwhelming, but it's like, we'll see a progress, and then there'll be people like Orange Head over here that wants to like strip all that and like bring things back to what quote unquote used to be great, whatever the fuck that means.
Never was. Never go.
Never was. So it's just frustrating when you're seeing all of this unravel around you, and then you're just supposed to be like, oh yeah, I'm a little influencer, like look at all the free gifts that this company sent me, and like showing it off, and just like you have to be delusional and not really realize that you look lost in the sauce. Like you're so far from what the reality is, and they don't care. That's the thing. It's like most of these people that you see, that you're watching, that you love, they don't care. They don't care about other people.
That's something that also frustrates me, of like people just not caring, because it's like we all need to care so that there's change. Because like I was mentioned before, like, not that I shame people, but like I try to educate people, like, hey, like, you know, you shouldn't support that business. And I've had people just straight up be like, I don't care. Like, don't tell me what to do. I'm still gonna do it. And also, like, I'm not political. That's like the one thing I hear a lot from people too. Like, I don't care about politics. I'm not political. And it's just like, oh, it's like so far from that though. It's not even politics anymore. It's just humanity and life. And this video went on other topics that we didn't think we were going to talk about. Like, we had a plan, but that's kind of like the changing of the format of not caring about the plan we have and just talking about whatever we feel like talking about. And just kind of why we've been discouraged from posting, just like the loss of humanity that has existed in life, and just thinking about our purpose in life and wanting to bring meaning to our own lives and to other people's lives, if possible.
And not feeling like we're stuck in the system, in like the machine that makes you feel like you're worthless because you aren't gaining traction, and you're not getting engagement, and you're not producing what you want to produce, and you're not feeling successful. It's like, this is why, you know, mental health is still a major topic of conversation, because so many people are aspiring to these lifestyles that they're seeing on their phone, when in reality it's not the purpose, I guess. Like, even though I just said, like, we're never gonna really figure out our purpose as like a human race. I mean, like, I think we all have our own sense of what our purpose is and what the human race is and what our existence means. And I just feel like when you start to see, like, I don't know, whenever I'm online, I just feel like, what are we doing? Like, sometimes I just get so detached, and I'm like, what happened to us? Like, how did we fall so far?
We asked the world, what happened to us? Can we just go back to how there's nowhere to go back. I want to go forward to like a nice time. I don't want to go back to anything. I want to just go, because as we're millennials, so like we also live in the nostalgia of like childhood, but I think it's just because we were so innocent back then that we think that there was something good there. But it's like, no, I want to go to a place where it's actually things are fine, because things weren't okay then. We just weren't fully aware of it.
Right. And we didn't have phones or social media, and I think that ties into a lot of issues I think a lot of people go through these days.
And I was gonna say, I don't think consumerism is the purpose, and that's just where we're at. Everything's just like, look what I bought, look what I have, look what you can get. And that's just where we're at. We're in a fucking Black Mirror, Twilight Zone.
It's the episode that's never ending, you know? And now with, just to touch upon this really quick before we end the podcast, AI.
Talk about boycott fucking AI. And they forced it upon us to the point where you can't even like turn it off on certain websites, and it's like you have no choice but to use it. It's just frustrating.
I was just going to say the same thing because you're like boycott AI, and it's like how we can't even boycott AI. I see YouTube videos where I'm like straight to the comment section so someone could tell me if this is AI.
Remember when Disney Channel would have like the go outside day or whatever? It's like I forgot what it was called. I'm gonna put it on the screen. But like you'd go to the channel and they're like, play outside today. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you just unlocked something.
We need to do that. We all need to just have a day, have more than one day where we just turn it all off.
Well, you know how everybody's been saying the expression like go touch grass? Yeah. Which I'm so over that expression. I'm sorry, y'all. I really am. But do I think we should be all going out and touching grass? Absolutely. I had a 3-hour nature walk yesterday, and it does a world of wonders to my sanity and my mental health.
Absolutely. Go for a walk.
Go for a walk. And like talk to the trees.
Yeah. Thank them for life.
Yes.
And speaking of the trees, AI is killing the trees, it's killing the environment.
It's killing our brain cells. It's killing authenticity.
And I've fallen victim to AI videos, and that's how I also know I'm getting old. And that's when it makes me turn off. I will get off my, like, it helps stop my doom scrolling because I will fall for a video. I'm like, oh, what is, like, sometimes I'm like I'm skeptical and I go in the comments, and now they have to tell you if it's AI too.
On Instagram, I know, but not on YouTube.
And I'm like, okay, it's time to leave the internet today.
But you know what's wild? I don't even think it's about our age. Like, I don't even think it's like, oh, I'm old. Like, I didn't realize that's AI. It's just like, this is how good the quality is getting. Like, it's gonna progress so much to the point where we're gonna have to find ways to detect it by not just like our sight. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just us visually looking at it and dissecting it. Like, we're probably gonna need other ways to decipher AI from reality. And that's the scary thing.
And I'm pissed at about these influencers and celebrities that are jumping on the bandwagon of it because they just want money. All they care about is money.
They just want money. Money.
Those are the people. Once you see these people, and there has been some like influencers, like, because again, you want to support people. This is maybe another, we have so much to talk about. We're going to end this soon, of like, supporting someone from the ground up, right? And then they turn into someone else, basically. You're like, oh, I want to support this person because they're like me. They're just a normal person. They're working a job. They're doing it. And then somewhere along the line, they get so out of touch with reality where they're taking these deals just for the money. And then that also is like this blurry line of like, well, I want to support that person, like get the bag, get the money. But they're also promoting a terrible company, you know, and now they're promoting AI. And it's like, now do you still support that person? Are you still happy for them? Or are you kind of like, oh, damn, like, did I make the wrong person famous or something? And even with celebrities, I feel like a lot of these celebrities who are now billionaires, we have this attachment from our childhood, once again, of like, but they were just the small town girl, and now, you know what I'm saying? Or like, they were my childhood and I watched them grow, and it's like, well, now they're not that anymore.
I don't know, Mel. I had this epiphany where I'm like, I don't even believe these stories anymore of like the small town girl, I was just a nobody type coming of age story of like how you got into the industry.
You don't believe it for anyone though? Because what if that were to be, again, that's where we're like, is that going to be us? Is it not? Probably not, because there's a lot of things I would say no to.
Right, we wouldn't sell out. I don't know, I had read this article and it was like talking about all these actors and their famous grandparents, and I'm like, y'all, all of like people want to talk about nepo babies, like all of Hollywood is nepo babies. Like just because you don't know their parents or their grandparents, like most of these actors, they've come from a family, like a family lineage of actors. They were already in the industry. Their family was already in the industry.
But now that's happening with influencers too, where you find out that someone's connected to someone who whatever, or they used to work for this, you know what I'm saying? Like you can trace someone back to, I don't think not everyone, but I think a majority of them, because who were they going to trace us back to?
I don't know. There'll probably be some sort of Illuminati conspiracy about us. But we also say we're witches, so they're probably like, oh yeah, they did spells to get, like, they did sacrifices to get to their fame or some shit like that. But I do think, like, you only get a level of success if, like, I think you need to sell out in order to get that level of success.
Of course, yeah. To become a millionaire, billionaire, yeah, you have to, you sold out.
And you're gonna be controlled. Like there's no way that you've reached that level of fame and money and you're not controlled by a bunch of people and a bunch of corporations and a bunch of like.
Yeah. And that's another thing, because I wanted to go into this, and like again, this is gonna run longer, of like control over what we say, where I wanted to talk about where people are using different language now, like because we can't say certain words, and it's like we're being censored. And I think people think, oh, well, we found a way around it and we're going to create these new words. And it's like, no, you're allowing them to control you. And a lot of the time when people are speaking like that, they're only speaking like that because they don't want their video to not make money. They're not saying like, oh, because they're like, oh, I don't think your video gets taken down if you say certain words. I think it just doesn't get pushed out, and then people get upset. Like, again, the algorithm. And it's like we're allowing them to censor us. And it's like, oh, well, language changes and we found a way around it. But it's like, no, eventually they'll just pick up on those words and then make you stop. You know what I'm saying? The cycle, like we said, the cycle will continue where they're like, actually, you can't say unalived anymore. You can, because we know what you're talking about. Like, they're just going to catch up to us and knock us back down. But again, a majority of the reason people aren't using these words is because they want to make money.
Exactly. I think TikTok does remove your videos if you have certain keywords. So yeah, this is all just a level of control. And like even YouTube has a wild censorship guidelines. And this is not something that we should be taking lightly. We should be concerned about this. And that's another thing where I was thinking about journalism, how all these news stations are bought and now these newscasters are just paid actors. Like, we need to value like independent journalism, and that also ties into like resisting the censorship. That's why sometimes I'll curse here and I'm like, oh shit, like is our page gonna grow because I'm using words that YouTube doesn't like? And it's just frustrating, and that it ties into again about social media and how difficult it is to build a platform, and how you do have to conform to these guidelines and censoring yourself and creating words that sound ridiculous in order to tell a story and to relay information.
Right. And I feel like we have to try to uplift those who choose not to conform, like the activists that are out there and the people that are like, fuck it, I'm not gonna censor myself, because that's the way to fight back, not giving in. Like, you know, people like, oh, if you can't beat them, join them. And I feel like a lot of people are gaining onto that mentality of just like giving up and not realizing they're giving up and being like, whatever, I'm just gonna be delusional and I'm gonna be out of touch with reality. And even Danny and I have had conversations like that with like making our videos, where it's like we could just, you know, doll ourselves up and come on camera and be like, haha, did you guys see the Labubu? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone, but it's just like, it's like, well, who gives a fuck?
Like, a lot of people put on characters, so like they really think that their faves are authentic, and it's like, no, they've constructed themselves to be marketable. They're doing all of this so that you see them a certain way and that the algorithm picks them up.
Yeah, and I think we've come on to this video to say we won't be doing that. And we'll still talk about pop culture and things like that, but we want to stay true to who we are and not feel forced to put on a facade and write a script and do all these and have the perfect setup. Like, obviously, yeah, things will improve, hopefully.
Not even hopefully, they will improve.
They will improve.
We're manifesting.
We're manifesting a better life for all of us. But yeah, we want to continue to speak up about what's important to us and to humanity, and not sell out. Mark our words. And we just do this because we enjoy it, and we will get back to some of the things we've spoken about in other videos. Like, if you subscribe to us because we talked about Yellowjackets, we're sorry. We apologize.
We're so sorry. We promised, what were we reacting to? The season 3?
Yeah, so we had put up a video about the first 2 episodes of season 3, and then we never finished our conclusion. We did finish the season, and I think they're already announced season 4. So we'll get back to that and talk about how we felt about season 3 in our next video.
Spoiler alert, we're over the show.
Yeah, and that's another reason why we shouldn't be a commentary channel. No, I think that adds to the commentary, because that's like another thing where people fall into a niche, and I think we may have talked about this before. My phone's gonna die, so I gotta really wrap it up, make sure it's still rolling.
It's die, did it?
It's still rolling, but we're gonna end it soon. Yeah, like, people fall into a niche, and it's like, what happens when you don't want to do that anymore? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like, just know, and I think, like I said, we've stated this maybe in previous videos, like, never hold us to one thing, because that's not what we are. And I think it's more authentic. I think it's more authentic to be like, you know what? I was watching this show, and it's not giving it's not for me anymore.
It's not giving what we thought it was gonna give.
And now I don't like it. And that's my opinion. And that's
But we'll probably talk about it in our next podcast. Maybe not. We'll see. We do have to wrap it up because Mel's phone is about to die.
And we have been going for like 2 hours, so
yeah, that usually happens, but you'll probably see, like, I don't know, 40 minutes of this. But maybe not. Maybe we're changing it. You'll see everything. Maybe you won't. Who knows? Just stay tuned. Subscribe. We love you. Thank you for chatting with us. Thank you for sitting down and joining us on this first official episode of our podcast. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
bye, guys.